Hey there, fifth graders. I want to take you through our next sort that we'll be working on for Words Their Way over the next 2 weeks. We are still working on sorts with prefixes. So remember, a prefix is a series of letters that comes at the beginning of a word. And it comes at the beginning of the word and it actually changes the meaning of the base word that is given there. So we have 3 prefixes that we're going to be working on this week. We have the prefix of non, we have the prefix of in, and we have the prefix of for. So let's talk about the meaning of these prefixes. So if you'll notice, 2 of the prefixes are the same. So we'll talk about those first. So you have both of them have the prefix of in at the beginning. And this prefix can actually have 2 different meanings. It can have in as in into, meaning if, for example, if you are on the infield, you are into the field, okay? And then we have the prefix in again, and this one means not. So that example would be for incomplete because it is not complete. So when you're sorting your words this week, you're not just going to be able to only look at the spelling this week for your words that start with the prefix in. You're also going to need to look at the meaning of those words to figure out which column it would best fit. We have the prefix non. Non also means not. So you have 2 prefixes this week with the meaning of not, but those will be easy to tell apart because the prefix at the beginning is different. And then you have the prefix for, which means in front of or before. And you'll be able to see those 2 prefixes as well at the beginning of the words. Let's go ahead and I'm going to highlight the rest of our guide words. And then we're going to go ahead and read through our word list for this week. So here we go. Foresee, nonsense, incomplete, infield, nonprofit, incorrect, forearm, nonfiction, foretell, inactive, forehead, indecent, forecast, non-stick, foreshadow, insane, foremost, nonstop, insight, income, nonviolent, non-fat, insincere, and indoor. Okay, so I have our prefixes and words cut apart just like I always do. So let's go ahead and set up our columns to show all of our prefixes and our words for this week. So remember, you have a prefix of non, meaning not. So it changes the meaning of that base word. You have the prefix of for as meaning in front of something or before. And then you have 2 prefixes of in. Remember, one of them means into and one of them means not. So we'll need to look closely at the meaning of those words. So I can go ahead and place my guide words up at the top. Nonsense goes in non. I have foresee in my for column. Let me spread these out a little bit. And then I have 2 words here. I have infield and incomplete. Remember, one of these prefixes means into and one of them means not. Which word should I place in the not column? Which would make sense there? It is not the field or it is not complete. What do you think? Good. It's going to go under not complete. If it's incomplete, it is not completed. And into the field is going to be in field there. All right, let's take a look at the rest of our words that we have. Some of our words obviously will be a little bit easier to sort this week. And then we're going to need to look closely at those prefixes of in. So I have the word foretell. I have the word forecast. And I have the word forehead. In which column do these words belong? Good, they all go in my for column. Remember, for can have two meanings. It can mean in front of or before. So if you foretell something, you tell it before. If you forecast something, you cast it before knowing what's going to happen. And forehead, this would mean your forehead is in the front part of your head. I have the word nonviolent. I have the word non-stop. And I have nonfiction. In which column do these words belong? Good. They all go in the non column, meaning not. Not non-violent, not violent. Non-stop means you are not stopping, and non-fiction meaning it is not a fiction story. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at a few more words. Nonprofit, non-stick, and foreshadow. Which word belongs in the for column? Good, that would be foreshadow. And then look at my last two words, nonprofit and non-stick. In which column do these words belong? Good, they both belong in the non column. Let's start to take a look at some of those words that are the in prefix and see if we can figure out in which column they belong. Remember, the prefix in has two meanings, one meaning into and one meaning not. So we have insincere, we have insane, and we have insight. So insincere, would it mean that you are into sincere, or would it mean that you are not sincere? Good, that would mean not sincere. You would have the word insane. Does it mean you're into insane, or does it mean you are not sane? Good, it would mean that you are not sane. And then our last word, insight. If you have insight into something, does it mean that you do not have sight, or does it mean you have sight into something? Good, it's going to go in the into column. If you have insight on something, you're able to view what it is like into it. A couple other words, foremost, non-fat, and income. Foremost, which column does this word belong? Good, goes in my for column. How about non-fat? Nicely done, in my non column. Income, does it mean that it is money that is coming into something, or does it mean that it is not coming? Good, this one's going to belong in into. Good. Okay, I have the word incorrect. I have the word indecent, and I have the word inactive. So all three of these words have the prefix of in. Which column do you think they belong? Do they belong in the into column or the not column? What do you think? Good, they're all going to go in the not column. If it's incorrect, it's not correct. If it's indecent, meaning it is not decent. And if you are inactive, that means you are not active. I have two words left. Let's see if we can figure out which column these words belong. How about the word forearm? In which column does this word belong? Good. Okay, your forearm is the front part of your arm, so it's going to go in the for column. And then I have one more in word. Is it going to be indoor? Does it mean into, like inside here? Or does it mean indoor? Does it mean not indoors? I have one final word here for indoor. Does it mean into, or if you are indoors, you are not a door? Yeah, it's going to mean into, meaning inside of a particular place. Nice job with those words this week. Be careful and mindful of your prefixes this week, especially the two IMs. You're going to have to pay close attention to the words this week. And then just a quick reminder, you do not have any oddball words this week. So all of your words this week will fit in each of the four columns.